Hi everyone, I'm John Lynn, the founder and chief editor at Healthcare IT Today. We're excited to bring you another in our series of interviews with top leaders in health IT. And today's guest is Katheron Intson. She's the CEO of Varient. Welcome, Katheron.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so excited to learn about Varient. Tell us, what do you do and how did it come about?
Yeah, so I started my PhD at the University of Toronto 5 years ago. I'm now a delinquent PhD student.
Entrepreneurship does that to people.
It does, yeah. And so while I was at the university, I started working with a patient group called GRIN1. And what we found within this patient population, just from chatting with the caregivers, was that the same couple of drugs seemed to be managing those patients' symptoms most effectively.
Okay.
And what we wanted to do is create a platform where people can communicate this effective symptom management with one another. So essentially what the platform is we onboard patients based on their genetic report. So we sort them into different gene communities based on their rare disease. And then we just ask them a series of questionnaires regarding which medications are helping them, which medications aren't helping them, which ones are making things worse. We aggregate this information and we share it back within that community. And the idea is that we streamline the journey to effective symptom management based on this crowdsourcing tool.
Wow, that's really interesting. And I think something else that stood out to me in your session here at the Global Genes event is you talked about the simple onboarding. So what would it be for a rare patient that wants to join and take part in this? What is the process they can expect?
So it should take about 5 minutes. Patients, all they need to do in order to become users is they upload a copy of their genetic report, fill out a bit of demographic information about them, age, country of residence, that kind of thing, and then just fill out our questions of which medications are helpful, which ones are not helpful, which ones make things worse. And so it should take at most 5 to 10 minutes, and user experience was really paramount to building this platform. So we've made it very user-friendly.
Yeah, makes sense. And so do they come back regularly to update stuff, or how do, is this a daily use thing? Do you notify them all the time? Like, what's the process for them once they're signed up? What can they expect?
We are hopeful that patients will engage with us, or our users will engage with us every few months or so. Okay. So it's really on their own timeline, perhaps when they change medications or they're looking for a new avenue to explore in terms of trying a new medication, that they will come to the app and they'll update their information. They'll say, nah, this medication didn't really work. Okay. And then we can update our ADA database on our end. Or if they're thinking about different medications that they'd like to explore, ideas that they want to discuss with their doctor, then they can engage with our app at that point. But yeah, we're really not just designed to run in the background, and hopeful that you'll engage every few months.
Yeah, and so what if a new treatment comes out or stuff? Do you notify them about that, or is that still on the roadmap?
That I would say that's on the roadmap for sure. But that's a great thought, is that every time there's a new FDA approval, that those users should definitely be notified about that.
Yeah. Absolutely. That makes sense. Well, it's really interesting that you're working on something that, I think many people don't appreciate, the rare disease part, where it's like where you don't have other peers, or finding them is a challenge. So, and understanding what treatments work or not, is underappreciated, right? I mean, I think there's other communities, maybe they go find this ad hoc in like a Facebook group.
Absolutely.
But you're trying to essentially commoditize that for them. Is that a good way to describe it? Or?
I would say so, yeah. So when patients go on Facebook groups and they ask, hey, has anyone tried this medication? They're kind of at the mercy of whether someone engages with Facebook that day.
They're lucky that person answered at the right time.
Exactly. And so with this tool, that kind of takes the timeline out of things. If we have that underlying data set that powers the app, that's what we're hopeful will be a good use case for our users. That said, we are never going to be able to replace the community that Facebook groups provides. And so we're not trying to be a replacement for, being able to chat with your peers, either on like a Foundation Connect tool or a Facebook page. We're hopeful that, our users will continue to use those social support tools while finding, while spending a very small amount of their time on our app.
Yeah, well, and if you have a community like that, they should all hop on the app so that it's everyone benefits from the entire group rather than just the one-off social interaction. So that's really great.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there. We've seen our app waitlist be shared within these Facebook groups quite frequently.
Yeah, makes sense. Where can people go to learn more?
So they can go to our website, www.varientapp.com. So that's VARIENTAPP.com.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for taking time to share about this interesting approach to, rare diseases and also the treatments, which I think is a different twist than I've heard a lot before. So thanks so much. And thanks everyone for listening and watching. If you want to find more great healthcare IT content like this, be sure to check it out at healthcareittoday.com or search for Healthcare IT Today on your favorite podcasting application. Thanks, Katheron.
Thank you.